Okay, hi everyone, I'm back. First, I want to do something with this background. That's for the what I told you a couple of videos ago about a background for the hearts. And as you can hear, the firecrackers are still busy. So I'm going to do this and then we're going to stop with videoing. My husband is with the dog at the moment because she's really scared. Really scared. Okay, I think I'll go for a really light color. So what I have is, this is Vallejo liquid watercolor. This is golden brown. And what I do is I wet the brush and I'm going to put a few drops on, as you can see. These colors are really vibrant, like I told you last time. So you only for 2 or 3 drops and you can color an A4 background, as you can see. But it's a little bit too yellow. I thought it would be a little bit more going towards the brown, but it's more yellow, so I'm gonna give it, oops, forgot to shake. You have to shake everything. Ooh, that's a lot of color. So we're going to give it a little, just a tiny little bit of brown. There we go. That's about it. I think that'll work nicely. Because the last one I did, whoops, almost fell off my chair again. This was the one I did last time, and as you can see, the hearts come out much better on something like this. And then of course we're going to put a mat around it. Let's get the mat. See that? Then the hearts really pop off the background. So I'm going to leave it exactly like this. That's it. Oops. I'm going to let that dry. And that's going to be it. Now I'm going to put that paper away. I'm not too fond of this paper though. This is really cheap watercolor paper, and I'll show you why I don't like it. We're going to put some here, and another cut. See how it already gets soaked into the paper? It is totally gone right now. That's something I really don't like. You want it to not get soaked in that much, because that gives you no possibility to do some. See that? This would have been really nice, but now because of the first one that I put on the paper, see, it is totally soaked into the paper. So there's nothing you can do with that. That is really ugly. And normally when you have good watercolor paper and you do this, you can sort of blend it into the background. No way you're going to be doing that with this paper. See that? I can go over it like a crazy woman, and it's all it does is make the paper dissolve, as you can see. It just goes straight through. Here you go. See that? Straight through. That's a sign that the paper is totally crap. Sorry about the word, but it is. It's crappy paper. So, let me get my little coffee thing. We're not going to work with that anymore. It might be good for like almost dry watercolor, where you almost have nothing on your brush. That might be the case, but for this it's really not worth it. So this is the good watercolor paper. Now what we do first is, I'm gonna let it relax, because this paper you want to get it all wet so it relaxes. Make it all wet. That's nice and wet. I want to do this. This is a background that I'm going to make for doodling. There we go. There's a little bit dry spot left. Maybe a little more. Okay, it's ready. Now, I'm going to start with the purple. Purple on my brush. Oh, there's purple now overall. There we go. Lots of purple. That's it. Then we're going to go to the turquoise. And that's a lot of turquoise. But I want it to sort of blend into the purple. So I'm going to give it a little bit here and there. A little bit down there. And it's already fading. That's sort of nice. And then we're going to give it the green, because the green and the turquoise make it look really pretty. And there, where you want to blend it a little bit more, you just dab it on and sort of make little circular motions with your brush. And this, we're going to do a little bit of green. There we go. This is really bright and pretty. We'll see how it dries up. Not really sure how it's going to dry, but we'll see about that. This we're going to spread out a little bit. Want a little bit of green in here. There it goes. Kind of like it. I like the colors together. And here we're sort of blending it. There we go. Gonna blend that in a little bit. And then I'm gonna go for just a little bit darker purple. I hope this is the darker purple. I'll be doodling over this, and I think I'll be doing black. Not really sure yet, but I think it's gonna be black. There it goes. That's a little bit darker purple. Just to give it a little bit here and there, a little bit of contrast. And see how easy this is? This is absolutely something that you can do with children. Just give them a little bit of smaller brush, because otherwise they'll, you know, put a lot of color on the paper straight away. That's something that maybe you don't want. But look how this is really turning into something really bright and pretty, and it reminds me of spring with a lot of color. Here I'm going to add a little bit more green, because I like how the green makes the other colors pop. So we're going to see here I have a little dot of blue, and just by dabbing it with my brush, it works into the background. Oh, you didn't see that. Sorry about that. Now up here I want more green, because here you can see that it is blended, so then you can put on some pure. And these colors are so intense. I just love them. Okie dokie. Now, you can always do more things here in the middle if you want to. You can even bring the bottle to the paper just to add a little bit more. But then again, you have to add a little bit of water because of the colors being so intense. And you dab them right in there. So that's just to show that you can even make it more intense if it's not intense enough for you. And you'll see that it'll sort of make these little pretty patterns that it'll just sort of merge into each other. And that's because we first wet the paper, so that's really important to do. Now, if you can imagine getting something black and putting that on top, you can imagine how those colors are going to pop. Here is a lot of water, and if you think it's too much, all you have to do is just dab it a little bit with your brush. Very softly, just dab. Don't make brush movements, but that way you can just soak up a little bit of the water to have a little bit of control. Although I do like how it merges and you get these little bit darker lines in it because that makes it interesting. But this is pretty much something I would enjoy doodling on top of. I think I'd use black because black really makes those colors pop. So let's just leave it as is, this, and I'll get the next one. Now, by now, a lot of people are asking, oh, what paper is that? Well, I'll show you what paper it is. This is the paper I'm using. So it's from Canson. That's the brand, and the type of paper is Montval. And what you have to look at is this. This is important. It's 140 pounds, 300 grams per square meter. This was a really thick block of paper. It has 100 sheets, and I think they priced it wrong because I bought it for 24 euros, and I have not ever seen that again. It was only 24 euros, so that's down to, what is it, 25 cents a sheet, something like that, and that is really cheap for paper of this quality. So as you can see here, it also shows the techniques you can do with it. So this is almost a dry brush, this is a loaded brush, and this is a wet brush on a wet background. So you can do all sorts of techniques on this paper, and I've had this block now, I think 10 years, something like that. And the paper has still kept its color. It didn't, you know, go yellow or anything like that. So that goes to show the quality that the paper has. Okay, now I'm gonna really overdo it. So first off, we're gonna make it wet, and the little bit of color that is on there, that's no problem because we're gonna load this up with color. And I'm gonna go to town on this one. Okay, and I'm putting a lot of water on this one. You can't, I don't think you can see it, but I'm really, this is wet. Very, very, very wet. So there we go. That is really wet. I'm just checking to see if I haven't skipped a couple of spots. Now, when I drop the colors on, I'm going to start with the blue because I like blue. Look at that. One more. That's 10 drops of color. Then we're going to take the green. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, that was that one. And now we're going to put in the purple. That's a lot of color too. And we're going to take another color blue. I want a little bit of the color blue, but look at the intensity. That is unreal. and it's sort of going into the center, because even though we did relax the paper with water, you still get that it, you know, warps a little bit. If you don't like it warping, the only thing you can do is make it wet. Oh, wow, look at those colors. The only thing you can do is tape down the paper, and there's special tape that you can do that with. Just let me get rid of excess of this, because I'm going for this, what's happening here. This I really like. So I'm gonna make sure that it doesn't have these white spots in it. And that will blend into the background when it dries. But this is what I want. I want to keep this bit here, because now with this one I'm going to doodle on with white. And I've over the years I've had a lot of, maybe I shouldn't have done that. That's a spot. Well, maybe that's nice. Who knows? I could doodle flowers on that. Let's do that. Let's do that on purpose. We can make them into flowers. That could be really nice. Oops. Careful. That's going to be a big one. But I think that might, you know, just add to the pattern. Who knows? And if it doesn't look like what we want later on, we can always make a new one, because this is this costs next to nothing. It's not like we're doing this on a canvas. But I can tell you, when you put some really nice, you want those gel pens, the Signo Broad, they are really nice, and they pop off. They are so opaque that they will make a real statement on these colors. So I'm going to keep this, because I might just want to frame that. But even if I were to just frame this, look at that. Is that pretty, or is that pretty? That's really intense. Only I think I'd make it a little bit bigger. I wouldn't do a little one. I'd make the cutout just a little bit bigger. But that is intense. And then imagine the white doodling on it. That's going to be awesome. So guys, I'm sorry I'm not going to be doing any more. I was going to do my resin over my, you know, that pretty painting I made. I was going to resin that today, but I'm going to keep that for tomorrow, because like I said, I got to be with my little dog. And there's nothing more important than my dog. Well, my husband first, but then my dog. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wish you all a really fun Saturday. I hope you get a little time to do a lot of stuff with your family, or make some art, make yourself happy. And I'll see you all tomorrow, right? And of course, love you all to pieces. Bye-bye.